If God woke you up this morning, you have to realize that somebody else did not get the opportunity, so it makes no sense for you to waste your potential and waste your life. Nobody's going to support you. They don't understand it, but it's not their job to understand it. It's not your job to make them understand. It's your job to show up every single day and lead by example, because I'm telling you, if you do that, you will get the results. They will see it and they will have no choice but to believe it. No, I'm not going outside. No, I'm not smoking. No, I'm not buying that bottle. No, I'm not getting on the game. You don't just start January 1st and it's like, okay, that's it. New year, new me. Stop it. You're a full grown man. All right, what's good with y'all boys, man? Back at y'all with another video. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about 7 powerful habits that will make you unstoppable in 2026. The first habit is to plan your night the day before. So actually what I did yesterday myself is I revised my Google Calendar because it was a little bit outdated with my current schedule. So I went down and I put in every single task that I need to get done throughout the entire week. I put that in a Google Calendar because if you're not planning anything, the only other alternative is to keep all the information in your head. And if you keep all the information in your head, you're going to fall off. You're not going to remember something. You're going to forget something. More importantly, what you have to realize is there's going to be unforeseen circumstances that come up in your schedule. You might got to run to the grocery store, right? You might catch a flat tire. You might have an appointment to go get a haircut. So you have to have everything in your calendar scheduled out accordingly to even accommodate for things that you're not doing every single day. Ever since I started using my Google Calendar, planning out my day, everything has been smooth sailing for me to be as consistent as possible because now I don't have to think about what needs to be done. I can just get the notification on my phone and I instantly get the work done. So I schedule out my deep work. I schedule out my 9 to 5, right? I schedule out going to the gym. I schedule out eating breakfast and getting ready for work. I schedule out reading. I schedule out Bible study. I schedule out my free time. Everything is scheduled out. So that way I know exactly how much time it takes to get things done and what order I'm going to get them done. So once you implement this into Google Calendar, it really eliminates having to do it every single day. Because once you set it in stone one time, it's just going to rinse and repeat. So really, it's not necessarily planning your day the night before. It's really implementing your schedule into a Google Calendar. The most successful people, they're not just thinking about everything that they need to do. They're not just freestyling their day. They're not just waking up like, okay, what needs to get done today? What do I feel like doing? No, whatever the schedule says, whatever is on the calendar, that's what gets done. And you don't want to just fill it out with all these things that don't matter. You want to fill it out with the needle movers. You want to fill it out with the most important things that you have to do every single day. So I scheduled out time to do my deep work. I scheduled out time to edit and record vids, right? I schedule a lot of time to post vids. I schedule a lot of time to download my short form content, to post my short form content. Everything must be into the schedule, regardless of what you do, regardless of what type of life you live in, regardless if you got a relationship, you got kids, does not matter. Even if you work 12-hour shifts every day, everything must be scheduled out so that you know what needs to be done and when you have to do it. This is gonna skyrocket your productivity because the average person, I'm telling you, he ain't got no schedule. He wake up when he wants to. The average man, he wakes up when he wants to, right? He does whatever he feels like doing. And most importantly, he's avoiding the work that's the highest leverage. So to truly set yourself apart in 2026, you have to be following a Google Calendar. I might make a separate video just actually breaking down how I set up mine because it was new to me. Like, this is my first year using Google Calendar. I've only been using it for a few months, right? But I'm telling you, once I started to implement this, everything made more sense. Because now I realized that, okay, if everything is scheduled out, now I don't have any real time to waste, right? Because a lot of times you can catch yourself scrolling on your phone, being on TikTok all day, being on Instagram all day, right? Talking to that girl all day. But if you following your schedule, you will really see that I don't have time for that. I shouldn't be watching this game. I shouldn't be playing the game. I shouldn't be on the phone with her right now. I should be working because that's what time it is on my schedule. So I have to get those things done. So the next thing is just going to be following the schedule consistently. It may take you a few days, it may take you a few hours to actually build it out, to actually go through your week, right? It may even take you upwards of a week just to see how your week goes so that you can properly plan everything out. But once you get this done and you rinse and repeat, you will take your life to the next level. Number 2 is to use the 5-minute rule to get things done. This applies to every single area of your life. It could be something as simple as folding clothes as soon as the dryer gets done. It could be something as simple as taking the trash out once it's full. Something as simple as washing the dishes and then putting them into the dishwasher, or taking them out the dishwasher and putting them back in the cabinets, right? Anything simple. If you want to read your 10 pages today, and it may take you 5 minutes to do that, or 5 minutes to read your notes. If it takes 5 minutes or less to get it done, do it right now. You don't have enough mental bandwidth to be trying to remember all these things that you need to get done. to procrastinate doing all these things that's so mundane that don't take no time to do them. If it takes less than 5 minutes, why not just do it right now? Because sometimes with me, it's like something that's quick with me is like sending out DMs to potential leads, right? It does not take that long because I have an automated message that I send. I just filter it to whoever I'm sending it to. So I can just go through my list and I can just send it out to them. So it makes no sense for me to try to put that off or try to remember to do it at a later time when it takes 5 minutes or less. You always want your brain to be focused on the task at hand. You don't want to be working on something and then you're thinking about something else that you forgot to do or something else that you need to do later on. You don't need to be worried about that because honestly, bro, the worst trait that you can have is trying to multitask. Because it may not necessarily mean that you're trying to do more than one thing at one time. It might be that you're trying to think about things more than one thing at one time, right? Because if it takes you 5 minutes to get it done, you can just do it, get out the way. You ain't got to worry about it no more. Especially things that's repeatable, right? Especially things that you're doing every single day. Anything that takes your focus away from the task at hand, especially the most important task, especially your deep work, is going to set you off. Like, for example, when I was reading the book, The One Thing, it talked about how productivity is basically a scam. How you basically it talked about how multitasking is basically a scam. How much productivity you actually lose trying to get multiple things done at one time. You lose so much productivity, bro. Focus on one thing. Get it done. If it takes less than 5 minutes, get it out the way so that you can get back to the real work. Because I'm telling you, bro, the more room that you have in your mind to focus on the most important things, the more successful you will be, the more productive you will be. But if you are always worried about, man, did I do that? Man, I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna do that later. Because this is really about procrastination. If you are always procrastinating something, that means that you are just avoiding the work. You're avoiding what needs to be done. So if you will procrastinate with little things that take 5 minutes to get done, you will procrastinate going to the gym. You will procrastinate with your deep work. You will procrastinate with saving your money. You will continue to impulsively spend your money. So this is what you really have to lock in and understand. You cannot be out here just simply putting things off. Do it right now so that you can get your focus back and stay locked in. Number 3 is implementing a morning routine, right? I follow a specific morning routine every single day. If you follow me on Instagram at QuayshawnQN, it's in the description, it's in the comments, you will see my morning routine. I wake up at 4:30, Monday through Friday. Today I got up at 5:30 just to give myself that extra hour, right? But I follow the same morning routine every single day. So I wake up, go use the bathroom, right? Brush my teeth, wash my face, make sure that my skincare is on point. As you can see, it is on point, right? Then I come in here in the living room and I stretch. I do my morning stretching. Then I do my 50 push-ups. Then I read my daily proverb, right? Today's the 27th. I read Proverbs 27. Then I read my daily devotion, right? September 27th, I read the September 27th devotion. This is my morning routine every single day. And I follow this routine because, for one, an early wake up. Right? It's Saturday morning. I don't have to be up this early, but I made the discipline to get up extra early so I can get more work done throughout the day. Because if I wake up 2 hours early, I have 2 more hours to get more things done than you who's still sleeping, who's still snoring, right? Who's still laid up with that girl. But you still stuck in your life, right? But you still putting off the work. But I'm up 2 hours earlier so I can stay ahead. I do my 50 push-ups because it's not for me to try to build muscle, right? I've been doing 50 push-ups every single day for months. Right? So it's not even about that. It's not even that I do 50 push-ups a day. It's just that I do 50 in the morning and 50 at night. So I've been doing 100 push-ups a day for months. It's not for anything but the discipline, right? So I get my energy moving in the morning. It's just discipline push-ups, right? I'm already waking up early. That's something I don't want to do. Then I lock in and do some push-ups in the morning. Another thing that I don't want to do, but I'm documenting my journey. So I'm holding myself accountable by posting this on my stories on Instagram so that y'all can see it, so that you can see I don't miss a day, right? I read my daily proverb because I want access to God's wisdom, the timeless wisdom. I'm not getting on my phone and scrolling, right? I'm not trying to see what's happening in the celebrity news. I don't care about none of that. I'm going to give my time to God, my first moments of the day to God. Because before I even hop out the bed, I'll skip that. I'm saying my prayer, right? So I'm giving my first moments of the day with God before I get into any other thing that I got to worry about. Before I get into any work, I'm making sure that I spend time with God. I connect with God's word. I'm reading a proverb a day because Proverbs is where the game is at. Proverbs is where the wisdom is at. So every time I read each proverb per day, I pick out 1 to 2 verses that just stick out to me. I also read the daily devotion for the same reason, right? Just to get access to God's wisdom, just to give me that extra knowledge, just to give me that extra connection. And I implement these things and I take heed to them every single day. So that's why you see me documenting this on Instagram. Your morning routine can be something completely different. It does not matter, but you need to have one. You should not wake up every single day, oh, what am I gonna do today? What needs to get done today? More importantly, the worst one, what do I feel like doing? Or hitting that snooze button. When the alarm goes off, get out the bed. We don't have time to waste. As soon as I wake up, it's like I have to get up because I know I got work to do. I can't lay in the bed. I don't understand how you as a full-grown man in your 20s, your 30s, whatever, can just wake up, lay in the bed, get on your phone, or turn that TV on. It does not make any sense. Do you not have anything that you're working towards? How can you just sit in the bed and lay in the bed? How can you just get out the bed and fire up that blunt, right? You ain't even brushed your teeth yet. Why do you not have a skincare routine? Why are you not in your word, right? Why can't you do 50 push-ups every single day? You ain't got to post it on social media like me, but why do you not have a routine that you follow every single day? Why are you getting up whenever you want to? Do you want to be average? You're doing what everybody else doing, which is keeping them average, but you don't want to be average. So you have to change your ways. And it starts with the morning routine because it sets the tone for your day. I get access to God's wisdom. I feel spiritually connected to him, right? I do my disciplinary push-ups. I do my disciplinary early wake up. So I'm already forcing myself to be more disciplined. So when I attack my work, it's like I'm already in a certain mode. But you can't say the same unless you implement a morning routine. But don't wait until 2026. I'm not telling you any of these steps to start January 1st. Start them right now. You don't just start January 1st and it's like, okay, it's a new year, new me. Stop it. You're a full grown man, right? So all the habits that you have set in place, they don't just go out the window. All the bad habits, all the vices, all the negativity, all the limiting beliefs. Just because the calendar changed the date and the year went up one does not mean that all that stuff just goes out the window because you have a New Year's resolution. No, if you truly want to make an impact starting January 1st, you should have gotten started September the 1st, right? So if you're already behind, you can start September the 28th. You can start the rest of today, the 27th, right? Because it takes 30 to 60 days to break or build a habit. But if you really want to build that momentum and make it stick with you, then you need to be implementing this 90-day run. So that starts with waking up early right now. That starts with having your schedule dialed in right now. That starts with getting the small mundane tasks done right now and not procrastinating. Number 4 is the 80-20 rule. This is one of the most important things that I have learned this year, right? 80% of your efforts come from 20% of your work. But you can break this down any type of way that you want to. So let's talk about fitness. Let's talk about the 80-20 rule of fitness, right? So you go to the gym an hour a day, 4 to 5 times a week. So that's not that much time, right? An hour a day, that gives you 23 whole more hours throughout the day. You're not eating 10 hours a day, right? You're eating, let's say, an hour and a half to 3 hours a day, depending on how long it takes you. If it takes you 30 minutes to an hour, you're eating somewhere from 90 minutes to about 3 hours a day, right? So that's not that long in the grand scheme of things when you got 24 hours a day. Between your nutrition and your training, that's 20% of your day, but it makes up 80% of your results, right? So, because the last thing that you can probably factor in is like your lifestyle. But just simply going to the gym and the diet that you have makes up 20% of the work that you are putting in towards your physique, but it gives you 80% results. So if you want to implement the 80-20 rule into your life, you have to ask yourself, what 20% of things are the most important things for me to focus on every single day that will drive 80% of the results that I want to achieve? So once you implement this into your life, bro, you will realize that, okay, I don't have time to waste. If I can only focus on 20% of things, what would those things be? But it works the same way for the negative things in your life. Or 20% of the things that you indulge in makes up 80% of your unhappiness, right? This could be the people that you hang around. This could be your negative habits, the smoking and drinking. This could be the sleeping in. This could be the beating off. 20% of your negativity, 20% of your negative habits makes up 80% of your unhappiness. So what 20% of things needs to be removed from your life? What 20% of things do you need to focus on that will drive 80% of the success, 80% of your growth? You have to implement this rule. I'm telling you, bro, this is one of the most powerful things that you can apply to your life. Because now you have to make sacrifices. Now you have to cut things out. Now you have to make sure that you're doing the most important things every single day. Because let's say I wanted to build this business, but I wasn't posting any content. I'm focused on journaling every single day. I'm focusing on reading books every single day. I'm focused on the mundane task, right? So if that was my 20%, the 80% of success that I would get is just more knowledge, more knowledge, more knowledge, more ideas. But that's not the end goal that I'm trying to achieve. So those are not the most important things that I should be focused on. Going back to that 80-20 of the gym, right? If you want a specific physique and you want to put on muscle, but your 20% is not focused on implementing progressive overload in the gym and eating in a caloric surplus, then you're not going to get the income or you're not going to get the outcome that you want because your 20% of things that you focus on is not in alignment with that 80% outcome that you want. This is one of the most powerful principles that you can implement into your life that's going to take you so far, bro. I'm telling you, because when you have your schedule dialed in and then you implement in the 80-20 rule, you literally only focused on the most important things each and every day that's going to drive and move the needle forward the most. So you will literally be unstoppable. I'm telling you, bro. Don't wait till 2026 to apply this because I'm already doing it. So how are you going to catch me? Other people are already doing this. So how are you going to catch them? Right? You have to start everything right now today. You have to have that urgency under you. I don't have time to waste. This is why I'm telling you, it's crazy how you can be sleeping in the bed. I don't even want you to watch my videos in the bed. Do some push-ups while you listen to my videos. Do push-ups, right? Do something productive. But at the end of the day, find the 20% of things that you need to focus on every single day. Find the 20% of things that you need to remove from your life that'll give you an 80% change in your life, an 80% transformation. Focus on those things and do it every single day, regardless of how you feel, and watch what happens. Just do it for a month, right? Then track your progress, see what happens. Then 2 months, then 3 months. Do it for the rest of the year, and then January 1st, watch where you're gonna be at. Number 5, this is very important, saying no. This is gonna be difficult, so you probably gonna click off right here because you don't wanna say no, right? You don't wanna say no to your friends. You wanna say, yes, I'll be outside, right? I'm gonna meet y'all at the spot. I'm on the way. Yes, I'm finna get on the game, right? You don't have anything that you're saying no to. You talking to your girl. Yes, babe, I'll sleep in. Yes, we can stay up later. Yes, I won't work my overtime. You're not saying no about anything. You don't have any discipline. You're not a man in your word. You just a yes man. You're a nice guy. You're a people pleaser. Nobody respects that. Because every time you say yes to something that you should be saying no to, you feel bad about yourself. You lose respect for yourself. You lose confidence in yourself. You lose authority, right? So you have to start saying no. No, I'm not going outside. No, I'm not smoking. No, I'm not buying that bottle. No, I'm not getting on the game. No, I'm not buying those clothes. No, I'm not staying up late. No, I'm not watching that show. No, I'm not beating off. No, I'm not leaving work early if I can work overtime. No. No, I'm not chasing these women. No, I'm not sliding their DMs. No, I'm not scrolling all day. Because the more things that you say no to, it leaves very little room for the things that you can say yes to. 20% of the things that you say no to will drive 80% of your success, or 20% of the things that you say no to will drive 80% of your unhappiness. However you want to look at it, bro, right? Because if you're saying no to the 20% of things that's actually going to get you to the next level, you're going to be stuck forever, right? But if you're saying no to the 20% of things that's going to keep you stuck, then you can get to the next level. I hope that makes sense. I said no to the weed when I used to smoke 3 times a day. I said no to the social drinking because I wanted to just have more fun and be lit when I was outside. I said no to going outside, right? I said no to leaving work early, knowing I can work overtime. I said no to sleeping in the bed, knowing I could get up earlier and get more work done. I said no to the voice in my head that's telling me that I ain't got 2-3 more rips left in the tank. I said no to the voice in my head telling me that I don't have to go to the gym 4 times a week. I don't have to wake up at 4:30 a.m. I don't have to go from 5 to 6 a.m. to the gym. But you can't be afraid to disappoint people, to make people upset, to have people cut you off, to have people look at you crazy because of the things that you're saying no to. You can't be afraid to stand alone and stand firm in your decisions and show up every single day. Because I'm telling you, when you are on the beginning stages of your journey and you don't have the results, but you are trying to change your mindset, you are trying to change your habits, nobody's going to support you. They don't understand it, but it's not their job to understand it. It's not your job to make them understand. It's your job to show up every single day and lead by example. Because I'm telling you, if you do that, you will get the results. They will see it, and they will have no choice but to believe it. But if you keep saying yes to them, right? If you keep saying yes to everything that's keeping you stuck, you will not get to the next level. You have to have the mindset, if I have to improve today, I have to improve right now. If today was my last day, would I be satisfied? I have to give everything in the tank. I have to say no to everything that's keeping me stuck, everything that's keeping me away from the man that I want to be, that I know I will be because of the work that I'm putting in. That's the most powerful thing that you can say every single day. No. And you don't say nothing after that, right? Don't say nothing after that. Why you ain't getting on the game? Why you ain't coming outside? Nah, I'm just locked in right now. Right? That's it. That's it. This is one of the most powerful things that you can implement that will take you to the next level. I'm telling you, bro. You have to say no. Do you think I honestly wanted to say no to the weed when I was smoking 3 times a day? Right? No. No, I didn't. You think I didn't enjoy smoking? You think I didn't enjoy being high? Right? You think I don't enjoy sleeping in my bed? It's comfortable. AC booming. Cover all over my face. You think I don't enjoy that? You think I don't enjoy leaving work when everybody else leaving? Oh, because the shift is over. You think I don't enjoy that? Yeah, I enjoyed all those things. But you know what I enjoy more? Making more money, right? You know what I enjoy more? Proving to myself that I'm more disciplined. Proving to myself that I can do what I set my mind not to do. Proving to myself that I'm not the average man, so I'm not gonna do average man things. So I can say no to average man things and actually do what the best version of myself would do. That's what I can focus on every single day. That's what gives me the most fulfillment. See, you still get fulfillment in stuff that's keeping you stuck. You still get fulfillment when you beat off and you bust. Then you feel bad about yourself. So you in a negative loop. You in a hypnotic rhythm, right? Them IG models and them OnlyFans models, they got you in a genjutsu. You're cooked. You still get your fulfillment from buying that bottle, right? I had a friend, bro, who used to work at my job. And one of my other coworkers, he was telling me like, bro, I think he might be an alcoholic. And so this was the point in time, like this was sometime last year. He picked me up for work because I had gotten a wreck, so I didn't have a way to work, right? He picks me up for work one morning, bro, and I kid you not. So we had to be to work by 7:30. So we probably got there probably 7:20 something, right? But before we pull up to work, he stops at the gas station and he buys a drink. So he probably ain't drunk no water all morning, and he buys him a drink. So in that moment, I'm like, he slick might be an alcoholic. That's you though. You get your fulfillment from buying that bottle, from buying that drink, because you can't say no. You get your fulfillment from hitting up your plug. Oh, I need a 3.5, I need a 7, I need a half, right? I want to break down the weed, I want to roll it up, I want to get so high. You get your fulfillment from sitting on the couch, watching TV. You get your fulfillment from chasing all these women, chasing pleasure, trying to have sex all day. That's where your fulfillment comes in. But you lazy, right? You out of shape. You ain't attracting the women that you really want. Your teeth probably yellow. Your breath probably stink. You don't have a skincare routine. You don't wake up early. You don't do no deep work. Your finances probably all over the place because you make impulsive purchases. Every time you get paid, you're ready to buy some new shoes, ready to buy a new game, you're ready to buy some VC, right? You ready to get on GTA. You ready to go out. You ready to buy that section. You ready to trick off on that girl who getting... You ready to trick off on that girl that just does not respect you, that does not want you, bro, who's dealing with other men. Let's just leave it at that. All because you can't say no to the things that are holding you back. I spent more time on this one just because it's so important. If you don't understand and lock in and grasp this right here, that's the most powerful thing that you can say is no. You're gonna always be stuck. Start saying no right now, today. If you got some weed, smoke the rest of it. I'm not gonna tell you to throw it away. Smoke the rest of it and don't buy no more. If you got a bottle, I'll tell you, pour the bottle out. I ain't gonna lie, pour the bottle out. Unplug your game. Implement your Google Calendar to see when you actually got free time to be able to do those things that you want to do, like play the game, watch TV, all that type of stuff, right? Stop hitting up them chicks that's not helping you get better, right? Be more disciplined in your relationship so that you have the proper time to get your work done, but still spend time with your girl. Say no to the things that's keeping you stuck and say yes to everything that's going to help you get better. Number 6 is express gratitude. This goes back into my morning routine, right? Me praying every single day, thanking God for another day, thanking God for the opportunity to come out here and improve, thanking God for the opportunity to come out here and serve the people that he's put me here to serve. Because I'm grateful for everything that I got. I'm sitting in a new crib right now. We've been in this crib for about 2 weeks, right? It's much more spacious. Like in my old crib, my couch looked so big, but in this crib, it's like, bro, it take up half the space. So I'm grateful to be in a much more modern crib, right? A newer crib. I'm grateful to just be out here in Texas because I remember when I was in Louisiana still staying in Shreveport, when I was door dashing every single day. I was smoking weed, right? I was still living with my mama. I was from job to job. So I remember when things were worse. I remember when I got in a car wreck, I didn't have a car, right? But now I got transportation. I remember when I was smoking weed every single day. I remember when I was drinking on the weekends. I remember when I couldn't stop beating off, right? I remember when I was more focused on women than I was on my purpose. I remember when I wasn't living for God and I was deep into New Age spirituality. I remember all those things. So I'm grateful for every experience that I've ever gone through. I'm grateful for every loss that I've taken. I'm grateful that I got 2 legs that I can walk on, that I can still go to the gym and squat, right? That I can still go to the gym and work out. Despite some of the knee pain that I feel, I appreciate it because I remember when I broke my knee the first time, couldn't walk. I remember when I broke my knee the second time, couldn't walk. Right? So I appreciate the little things. I appreciate the job that I have, having the opportunity to be able to work overtime. I appreciate my girl, my relationship, somebody who's trusting the process, trusting the vision, right? Who can support me on this journey, right? So if you're not expressing gratitude for the little things every single day, the sunshine that's outside, the rain, the traffic, even the things that you don't necessarily like, if you're not expressing gratitude just for having breath in your lungs, I got my homeboy tatted on me who passed in a car wreck, right? It's what, 2017. So it'll be 8 years since he passed away tomorrow. So I think about all the times when we grew up, all the good memories that we had, all the time that we spent together, all the trips that we took, right? I remember calling him basically my brother, calling him my cousin. We was just that close. We weren't related for real, but we was just that close to the point where it was like, that was a big bro to me. And a lot of times when I be going through it, bro, he's the only person I want to talk to. But I'm grateful for the memories that we had. I'm grateful for the pictures that I have, right? I'm grateful for the little ways that he inspired me, right? Because that always puts me in a frame of mind that you don't know when your day is coming. You get what I'm saying? So you have to appreciate the little things in life, because if today was your last day, would you be satisfied? Right? But if the answer is no, then you need to make a change. But another thing is, if God woke you up this morning, you have to realize that somebody else did not get the opportunity. So it makes no sense for you to waste your potential and waste your life. You have to express gratitude every single day. And you don't express gratitude, oh God, thank you for this, God, thank you for this, God, can you give me more of this? That's not gratitude. That's a version of it. That's good. Right? Of course, you want to vocalize all the things that you're grateful for. But stewardship is the next thing. Right? Don't say, oh, thank you, God, for blessing me with this job. And then you get your money from your check and you splurging on stuff that don't matter. It's about stewardship, right? How are you showing that you're grateful through your actions, not through your words? You get what I'm saying? So if God blessed you with this body, what are you doing fat and sloppy? What are you doing super skinny? Why are you destroying your mind with the stuff that you're consuming every single day? How are you grateful for the mind that you have, one of one mind that you have, but you wasting it away? You are killing your brain cells. You plugging into the matrix, right? So you have to express gratitude for every little thing every single day. More often than not, I get caught up in some type of traffic going to work. But sometimes I have to just sit back and be like, okay, I appreciate this, right? If I'm late to work, it's not the end of the world. I'm grateful that I got a job to go to, right? So work on just being more grateful, bro. I'm telling you, it's going to take your life that much farther, because you can get caught up in how you on this grind, you on your self-improvement journey, and things is just not going your way. You get what I'm saying? But think about the people who are not here. Think about the loved ones that you lost in your life, right? Think about the people who just don't get the opportunity at all because of the situation that they grew up in. But also think about the people who grew up in more rough environments and more rough circumstances than you, who still made it way. You get what I'm saying? Because everybody's life is different. Everybody dealt different cards, but what are you going to do with it? Focus on the controllables. Express the gratitude every single day, and I'm telling you, your life is going to just become more positive. It's going to start to flourish because you see the benefit, not even the benefit, but you just see the blessing of life, even in the little things. And number 7, most importantly, I saved this one for last, it's going to the gym. You get what I'm saying? It's going to the gym. Yes. Yes. Working out. Yes. Progressive overload. Yes. Training to a failure. Yes. Making sure that your diet is on point. This is what's going to make you unstoppable. Because I know it's a girl that you attracted to, bro, but you can't get her because look in the mirror and everything will explain itself. I know you don't feel as confident as you truly want to, and it's simply because you don't like what you see when you look in the mirror. I've been there, bro. You know what was crazy about me, bro? I was 157 pounds walking around like I was 185. Why was my ego through the roof and I was a freaking twig? Why? I'm the biggest I've ever been. I feel I'm little still, right? The work is not done. You got to fall in love with the gym. You got to fall in love with the pain. If you're going through it right now, the gym should be your best friend. We don't have time to be sitting here playing, sitting here sleeping in the bed, sitting here eating whatever we want, hot Cheetos and Fritos and all this greasy foods every single day, fried chicken every single day. We ain't got time for that, right? Eat clean, whole foods. Get out of the McDonald's drive-thru. Delete the McDonald's app. I don't care how many rewards points you got. Stop drinking soda. That's why your face bumpy. Hit the gym, bro. I'm telling you, the gym is going to transform your life. Because when you start to see the improvements in your physique, when you start to see that muscle being built, you start to see the definition, you start to see the veins, pause, right? Or if you fat, you start to see the weight just shedding off your body. You start to see yourself looking slimmer. You can't really fit your clothes no more. You get what I'm saying? Whether you put on muscle or you losing weight, when you can't fit your clothes no more, that reinforces the work. You don't go to the gym, oh, I'm just going to the gym just cause. No, you gotta have a real reason as to why you're going to the gym. I refuse to be a skinny twig, so I'm going to the gym. I refuse to look in the mirror and not like what I see, right? I refuse to be a product of my knee injuries and let that hinder me from being able to push my legs to a failure when I'm training. I refuse. But what is it for you? You have to push, you have to strive, you have to dig deep and fight it every single day. You got to train till failure. You got more rips in the tank. Don't go in there and focus on 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 10. No, I'm talking about being unstoppable. Unstoppable is training to a failure, knowing that you got to prove to yourself that you're finna fail, right? Now take that with a grain of salt, because if it's like bench press, it's like squats, if you ain't got nobody spotting you, leave some room in the tank. Let's just say that, leave some room in the tank, because you don't want to be dropping no bar on your chest, on your neck, right? You don't want to just collapse on the squat rack. You got too much weight on there. You try to get that extra rep in and you can't do it. You get what I'm saying? So take those things with a grain of salt. But anything else, bro, that you can just drop the weight, train till failure. I'm telling you, your confidence is never going to be as high as the version of yourself who's in shape. You're never going to be more attractive than when you get in shape. You get what I'm saying? So that's one of the most important things that you can start doing right now today. Start going to the gym. Start eating cleaner. Clean out your pantry, clean out your fridge. Delete all them fast food apps off your phone and really lock in to create a system that you can follow every single day, every single week. Implement the progressive overload so that you're making sure that you're getting stronger and building more muscle. Track your weight, track your workouts. It's all simple, but it requires the discipline, the intensity, and the effort, and the persistence, and the resilience to be consistent, right? To continue to show up every single day. But these are the 7 things that I implement, the 7 things that you must implement, the 7 powerful habits that if you implement, you will become an unstoppable man in 2026. If you are someone who wants to take their mindset and their physique to the next level to become this unstoppable man, make sure that you book a one-on-one call that's going to be pinned in the comments or linked in the description. Also, make sure that you follow me on Instagram as well. So once you book this call, we will see if you are a good fit for the mentorship. We will hit the ball rolling. I will create you a plan that is specifically tailored to you to get you the results that you want to achieve. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.